Welcome to our next episode. In this episode, we explored the historical monuments of Assam, in a city that had defied the mighty Mughals for centuries. From here, we then finally crossed into Arunachal Pradesh through Roing. The journey from Roing to Anini was the most challenging drive of our lives. In our previous episode, we had explored Kaziranga National Park. From there, we continued our Assam Arunachal road trip and reached Sivasagar, where we stayed for a night. Our homestay in Sivasagar was clean, comfortable, and served delicious home like food. Since the owner lived on the same property with his family, the stay felt safe and welcoming. From our homestay, most of the places are nearby except the Charaideo burial grounds, which is like 28 kilometers outside the city. Our first stop was this historic Shiva temple, also called Shiva Dole, standing tall at 104 feet in a picturesque location. This entire temple complex was built in 1734 AD by Queen of Ahom kingdom, and it has two other temples, Vishnu Dole and Devi Dole, which are architecturally similar to the large Shiva temple. The entire area felt incredibly peaceful with a cool breeze flowing in from the lake. We then headed to Ranghar, another iconic landmark dating back to 1746 AD. It is one of Asia's oldest surviving amphitheaters, often referred to as the Colosseum of the East. Ranghar had once served as a royal viewing pavilion for buffalo fights, cockfights, and wrestling matches. The construction of Ranghar showcased the architectural brilliance of the Ahoms. Builders had used a unique mixture of tamarind paste, rice, and duck eggs, which not only strengthened the structure but also made it remarkably durable over time. Our final stop was the Charaideo burial grounds. Charaideo had been the first permanent capital of the Ahom kingdom. Today, it is famous for the Charaideo modems, the royal burial mounds, often called the pyramids of Assam, and it is India's newest UNESCO World Heritage Site. Although there are over 150 modems in the region, only about 30 to 90 are protected by the Archaeological Survey of India and the Assam State Archaeology Department. We would highly recommend visiting the Assam State Archaeology maintained site first, as some of the modems here have already been excavated and are open for tourists to explore. After exploring the modems, don't forget to visit the museum, where you can see the artifacts discovered during the excavation of these royal burial mounds. Unfortunately, since we had to leave for rowing the same day, we had to skip the museum this time. At the ASI protected site, the excavations are still ongoing and access is very much limited. Also, both these sites have separate ticket counters, so if you have limited time with you, then you can just visit the state protected site. After our visit to Charaideo, we continued our journey towards Roing, driving through the heart of Assam's countryside. Driving through these endless stretches of lush tea gardens and winding village roads, we could see why Assam is called the tea capital of India. We reached Roing last night after 4.5 hour drive and stayed at Mito's homestay. It's a beautiful property, extremely neat and clean, and the food was amazing. Google Map shows an 8-hour drive, but since this was our first time driving in proper mountain terrain, we were not in any rush and we took it slow. We started off on really good roads, but they came with plenty of sharp turns. And since this road goes through Mehao Protected Forest, there are no horn signs along the way. But as the road got narrower, it became important to horn at blind curves. Although the traffic was so less that at times it was hard to believe that this was the only main road leading to the upper Dibang Valley. With almost no traffic around, driving through winding mountain roads surrounded by dense forests was actually quite enjoyable. Windows rolled down, sunroof half open, we soaked in the cool, crisp air and the distinct sounds of birds echoing through the valley. About 2 hours in, we reached Mayodhya Pass and took a short break for chai and snacks at a small cafe maintained by the Indian Army. This pass is extremely popular among locals and is especially famous for snowfall during winters. In peak season, this place transforms into a winter wonderland, drawing people from across the region. After spending some time there, we continued our journey, and that is when things started to change. The road conditions slowly began to deteriorate. They became patchy and broken. Before this trip, a friend of ours had done a solo bike ride to Anini and had mentioned that the roads were mostly good, with just a small bad stretch near Hunli. For us driving in the mountains for the first time, we assumed this must be the stretch he was referring to, completely unaware of what lay ahead. Once we reached Hunli, we took a short break, hoping the worst was behind us. But oh boy, what came next was absolutely unbelievable. There were moments when we genuinely thought we would not make it to Anini and might have to turn back to Roing and take a helicopter instead. Somehow we managed to push through, driving carefully in our compact automatic SUV without a 4x4 feature, which honestly is a must for these kind of roads.
हाँ वही तो
The last 100 km before Anini is technically a highway, but even here you need to be extra cautious.
इसलिए सब
After nearly 10 hours of an exhausting, back breaking drive, with every joint in our bodies shaken, we finally reached Anini. And through it all, our MG Hector stood by us, never once giving up, turning this nerve wracking journey into an unforgettable adventure.